Hey everyone, Daunter here. If you don't know who I am, I'm a Pokemon card YouTuber who's got 700 subscribers and aiming for 800. Now, um, in this video, I'm going to be doing my third or fourth part of my tier list, where I'm going to be ranking every single illustration rare in the Scarlet and Violet era. In the last video, we had to do Temporal Forces, 151, and Obsidian Flames, I believe. Don't quote me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff in S tier, but I mean, look at how much stuff is on the list. So comparatively, this is just a small amount. In the last video, we added the Meltan, we added the Caesar. No, actually, I think we did Obsidian Flames in a different video. Whatever. We added the Bulbasaur for sure. We added the Espathra. We added the Bronzor. So yeah, that's what our S tier is looking like. And yeah, we got a lot more cards to go through. Today I'm going to be trying to tackle Twilight Masquerade, Surging Sparks, and Stellar Crown. So that's what we're going to be looking at for today. And let's just get straight into it because we have a lot to go through here. Firstly is going to be the Pinsir by Yukihiro Tada. As a very recent debut card for an artist, I think this is their debut. It's pretty nice. Pinsir looks pretty happy. He's smiling. I don't like how his teeth look, but that's just I don't like how Pinsir's teeth look in general, I guess. It's cute. It's simplistic. Like it's nothing to write home about, I would say. Like it's okay. And I think that means it's like a perfect candidate for like our B tier. Maybe like our top of C tier. Honestly, I think that it's pretty okay. So I'm gonna put it right there. Not that I dislike it or anything. Just for a debut card, I feel like it could be a little bit more interesting, and that's not a problem. I think that their style improves later. Next is Sunflora by Shinya Komatsu. This is a really cool card, just because of the fact that the Sunflora all nice and yellow and green, very like vibrant and saturated, and the environment all around them is like this very nice like blue coloration that you can see in a lot of other Shinya Komatsu illustrations, which I really appreciate. I think that they always have a nice like sense of color because of that nice blue shade that they use in different like amounts, different values and stuff. And I like how all of them have their own little personality. I think that looks very cute. This is a prime like higher B tier card, I would say. I think it's really nice. It's very cute. So I'm gonna put it like up here. Yeah, that's fine. Next is going to be the Diplin by Akira Komiyama. This is a very cute card. It showcases the Teal Mask Festival person, somebody who's working at the event, most likely. You have a stand for the Pokemon itself, which I think works really well. You have it selling candy apples and candy and whatnot. You have some Squovits kind of like looking in on the event and trying to see if they have something to steal or whatever, you know? Diplin is cute in the card. I think it's pretty visually succinct. I think it's a nice looking card, honestly. I'm going to put it in like B plus tier, honestly. I think it's good, but it's probably not like my top #1 card or anything. I'm gonna put it like right there, right above the Tropius. Cool with that. Next is the Poltergeist by Saboteri. This is a story told in 2 parts, so the individual illustration rare is kind of like not up to par just in terms of just like a singular story. But it's still alright. You know, you have the Pokemon dripping a drop of matcha on the child's hand, which is cool. I like the colors. Like, I like the kind of faded, like, kind of look to it as the sun is, like, barely hitting this, like, attic or, like, this room or whatever. All the, like, books and papers in the drawer on the floor, like, it all adds to that kind of, like, aesthetic of, like, an attic kind of environment, which I think looks pretty nice. I'm going to put it in C tier as well. I think it's good, but I think there's some other illustration rares that I like a little bit better. Next is going to be the Torkoal by Masa. This is a really nice card. I actually like it. I like the storytelling. I like how there's 3 Torkoals in the card. I always love when multiple Pokemon are on the same card. One of them is sitting underneath this table here. One of them is like walking into the distance, and then one of them is inside of the kiln with the trainer, who is like, you know, obviously he's a pottery maker or something, because there's a bunch of like flamed pottery, which is really cool. I think that it's very nicely detailed, very nicely colored. I like how the Pokemon is also kind of glowing a little bit. This is a very underrated card. I'm going to put it in like higher B plus tier because I actually really like it. Maybe like right here. Maybe like right above the Machoke. I'm cool with that. Next is going to be the Infernape by KRGC. This is a really cool card, especially for like a very recent like debut-ish kind of card. I think this is one of their first cards. I think that it's really cool. I love how it's like got a very nice sense of flow. Like I love how the Pokemon's kind of like curled up here, like it kind of goes into a line, and then it curves a little bit. And you also have its arm, which curves forward to the camera. Its leg curves backwards, and then you have like these like dancing flames. I think it's a really, really nice looking card. I also love how its like arm is also like extended up and kind of bent. I don't know, it's just got like a really good sense of like flow, good sense of like style. I think it's a really underrated card. I'm gonna put it in like A tier. I'm gonna put it like up here. I love the colors. I love like the pose. I like the close-up nature of it. I think that it's a really nice looking card. I'm gonna put it like right here, like almost at the very top of A tier. Next is gonna be the Frostlass by Matazo. It's a very beautiful illustration. You know, you have the Pokemon entering this Japanese-inspired room. You have like that evil, like dark moon in the background, and you have like this icy, cold aesthetic with like these very, very muted colors, very menacing almost, which I think is really, really cool. I think that aesthetic works really, really well for a Pokemon like Frostlass being this like ghost ice type Pokemon. I think that it's pretty underrated as well. I'm gonna put it like, I don't know, like pretty high up in terms of just like the overall ranking here. I actually like it enough to put it in A tier. I'm gonna put it like right above the Relicanth. Not right below the Relicanth, it's fine. Yeah, I like it a lot. Next is gonna be the Fion by Takashi Shiraishi. Takashi Shiraishi. Sorry, I messed that up a little bit there. Like, it's really, really cute. Like, I like the way that Fion is drawn. Like, it's very nicely saturated compared to the background, and I like the red gem on its tummy. I like the, you know, the Wailords and the, what's his name? Wailmers. I think that it's an interesting idea, like, you know, controlling a herd of Pokemon like this. The water effects are obviously very beautiful, like nicely stylized, nicely colored. But it's probably not my favorite card from this artist, so I know that there's going to be another card coming up later that I like a lot more, so I'm going to put this one a little bit lower, unfortunately. I'm going to put it like right below the Pinsir. No, I'm putting it right below the Wugtrio. Yeah, that's fine with me, right there. Next is going to be the Cramorant by Fujimoto Gold. Again, it's just another, I think this is another debut card. I like it a lot. I think that the only thing that I don't particularly like about the card is just all that blurring. I mean, I know it's kind of necessary to really emphasize the Pokemon itself, but there are some really nice, like, concepts in the card. Like, you have a Capsakid running with his trainer, Scraggy. You have a Stuffle in the background. It's very, very cute. Like, it's got some good ideas in it. And the Cramorant itself looks nice, and they're at, like, a water park or something. I think that's not a bad idea at all. But that's just, like, that blurring that I'm not a huge fan of in this card specifically. I'm gonna put it in B tier though, because I don't dislike it at all. I think that it deserves to be like not super low, because it's still a good card. So right here is fine. Next is gonna be the Heliolisk by Tonji Matsuno. This is a very, very beautiful illustration. I've liked this card for a really long time now, and for a good reason. I think it's very like realistic, but it's also very like just a nice idea of just the Pokemon running on top water. The one in the background with that open mouth always gets me. It's got like great expression on his face. The Pokemon is like angry as it's running. I think that's again just a great idea, and I think that it deserves to be a little bit higher up on the list because it's pretty underrated. I think it's an A+ tier illustration rare for sure. I don't know, I like it a lot, and I like it for completely different reasons from some of the other illustration rares. I'm gonna put it like right up here, right next to the Wimpod over here, bottom of A+ tier. Next is going to be the Wattrel by Mitsuhiro Rita. This is a very, very nice one. Very, very realistic, obviously, as that is the Mitsuhiro Rita style. And I like how they're all like kind of diving under the water to try to catch some fish or whatnot, and I like how that idea is carried on with the Pokemon kind of like electrically shocking the water around it. I think that obviously would be a pretty effective method of hunting if I was a fish. Or if I was a bird, you know, that could just like electrically shock the water around me to, you know, hunt fish. I think that would work pretty well. I don't know what I'm talking about, honestly. Let's just rank the card. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I like it a lot. I love Mitsuhiri's style, obviously, but I think that it's probably not gonna be higher than B tier. In like the B range. Actually, it is nicer than these. I'm gonna put it in like B+ tier. Yeah, like right here. That's fine. Next is going to be the Chimecho by Rend. This is a very beautiful looking illustration rare. I love it. It's very, very realistic, but it's kind of got like a very simple vibe to it, as it's just the Pokemon kind of right next to like a Japanese home. You have like the spell tag wind chime things in the background there. And I think it works really, really well. I love this little shine on the Pokemon's head. I would say that their other one, the Pawmi, is probably better. I put the Pawmi in B tier, I think, so... Wait, where did I put the Pawmi? Oh, I put it at the top of B+ tier, so I'm going to put this one a little bit lower. Not too low, though. But I'm going to put it in, like, C tier, I think. It's okay. I'm gonna put it like below the Wiglet, below the Fion, but not below the Varoom. Next is gonna be the Enamorus by Goto Minori. Now this is a really good card. I actually really like this card. I don't like Enamorus. I think Enamorus is one of the ugliest Pokemon ever created. But I think that Goto Minori did a really great job, like making this Pokemon feel stylized, really interesting. I love all the different heart effects, like the colors and stuff. You have like this dark red heart with the white outline right here. You have these like yellow kind of slashes that are all around the card, splodges and splooches. You have like these very interesting patterns, intricate like designs. It just makes it look really interesting. And Enamorus's pose isn't like a slouch either. It's not just like standing still. It's got like this very open expression, very like open stance, like bending its body and everything. So it's not like static. Like it doesn't feel static, and it's got a very good like color. Like it stands out a lot, which I appreciate. And I think any card that makes me like really appreciate it like that deserves to at least be an A+ tier. I think that's a really good card. Very underrated, honestly. And I love the style, so I'm a little bit biased in that sense, but I like it. I don't know. Next is going to be the Growlithe by Ghidorah, Hisuian Growlithe. It's very cute. I like the way that the Pokemon's looking up. It's got some really great shading, like especially on the water there. You can really tell they put a lot of effort into it. And I think that it's a nice looking card. Yeah, that's about it. Like it's nice. It's cute, but it kind of reminds me of like the Hisuian Zorua, which I put in B tier. So I'm gonna put this one in B tier as well. It's nice though. Maybe like near the top of B tier, right there. I'm cool with that. Next is gonna be the Probopass, actually. Sorry, by Karia. This is actually a really underrated card as well. I feel pretty similarly about it as what's it called, Enamorus. It's a really great like early card for this artist's career. I think that it's incredibly like detailed. I love all the different Pokemon in it. Like you have the Probopass, it's kind of being seen as like a statue. You have a trainer walking with a Bidoof. You have some Starlies pecking around. You have a like a runner running with a Boltund, and you also have like a Lotad at the very front. Just a lot of people, and it just showcases like an everyday kind of idea. You have the child placing down a flower right on top of the Probopass. It's just cute, right? Like I think that it works really well, and it showcases the Pokemon in a way that you wouldn't typically expect. So that for that reason, I appreciate it more than you would probably think I would. I'm gonna put it in A+ tier. I like it a lot. Next is going to be the Timber by Yuriko Akase. This is their debut card, I believe. It's really cool. It gives Timber a lot of personality as he's carrying these giant wooden beams, and everybody's looking at him like, dang, dude, you're strong. Like, look at this guy. He's like, wow, Timber's powerful. And he's like, I love that expression on Timber's face. I love the shading. It really reminds me of like kind of like a manga, right? Like, because this artist is a manga artist. So I think that works really well in its favor. And I love the perspective of them like actually building the house. Like I think that like the framework, being able to see all that is just a really cool idea. One that, I mean, obviously has never been explored before by a Pokemon card, because none of these cards on the list have anything remotely close to that. So I appreciate it for like the concept. I'm going to put it like in A tier. I think that is pretty nice. Also, just a pretty underrated card from Twilight Masquerade. I feel like Twilight Masquerade has a lot of those like really underrated looking cards. Okay, I'm going to put it in like A tier. I'm going to put it right above the Beldum. I like it a lot. Next is going to be the Lyron by Jisuke. I actually don't mind this card because he's eating a giant piece of scrap. He's in some sort of scrap yard, got a bunch of nuts, bolts, a bunch of different like kind of like equipment and such just all around him. I think that's a really cool idea. Executed pretty nicely with it looking at the camera. I think when I saw this card initially, I was just like, oh man, it should have been Aggron, but it's alright. Like Lyron is okay. I think that's a very underrated Pokemon. By underrated, I mean very forgettable. I'm gonna put it like C tier, probably like kind of near the top of C tier, because it does have some nice personality to it, so I appreciate that. Next is gonna be the Applin by Katsunori Sato. It's cute. I like how there's, the idea of Applins being in a tree is probably like something that I've seen before. But it's still not a bad idea. Obviously, it works for a reason, right? There's a bunch of different Applins in this card. You got one here, you got one here, you got one here, you got one here, and you got one inside the bucket of apples. So it's not a horrible like execution of it. I like how they kind of shake it up by having multiple different Applins. And obviously the colors are very soft, soothing, very like Katsunori Sato-esque. Like it has like that effect, that a lot of their cards do have. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna put it in C tier, I think. It's nice, but I can't really say much else about it, unfortunately. I'm gonna put it like near the top of C tier though. Next is going to be the Tatsugiri by Osare. Now, this is probably my favorite card from the set, to be honest. I love, like, the very stylized look to a Tatsugiri here. I think that it's incredibly cool, like, the fact that they're all looking in different directions. You know, you have some different, like, little fill in the gaps with these white circles, white, shapes that are filling all around. I love how there's one, like, laying above, like, flat on its belly. You have one, like, kind of bent in a weird way. You have one, just, like, they're all doing different things, which I really appreciate. It really gives this card a lot of personality. And the one in the middle here, like, just in that classic Tatsugiri pose, makes it, like, drawn out super nicely. And you have, like, these, like, bubbling effects coming off of it to showcase, like, it's the main one in the card. So I think that it works perfectly for that. I think that's probably my favorite card from the set, so I had to put it in S tier. I really love it. It's super, super cool. Very, like, kind of just a very awesome card of a Pokemon from Gen 9, which I appreciate. You know, I think I'm a little bit more biased towards making Gen 9 Pokemon look good in the RRs because it is, like, their era, you know? Next is going to be Chansey by Toshino Aoki. For a Toshino Aoki illustration, this is actually very, very cute. I like Toshino Aoki style, actually. But I think this card is really cute. I love how it's inside of a Pokemon Center. I really love the fat Snorlax, the big fat Snorlax. You have Blissey at the counter. Bellsprout's just chilling inside a Ditto. Like, it's got a bunch of different Pokemon in it, and Chansey's dropping a bunch of boxes. That's a cute idea, right? Like, working at the Pokemon Center, having the Pokemon's previous evolution, like, taking up the reins and working at the Pokemon Center, it's a good idea. I'm going to put it, like, maybe somewhere in B tier, probably above the Flamingo. Maybe, like, I don't know, like, right next to the Tandem Mouse. I'm okay with that, like, right here in B tier. Maybe above the... Yeah, I think that it's, like, right here. Next is going to be the Eevee by Naomi Sato. This card is cute, a lot of personality, like all the Eevees are doing something different. One of them is jumping down from the chair, one of them is sitting nicely just to showcase it as the main Pokemon in the card. You have one, like, wrapped around a vase, you have one, like, looking at nothing, you have one sleeping, you have one playing with a mug, you have one looking at another one who's playing with a Hydreigon doll. It's very cute. Like, it's very cute, and it has a lot of personality to it, so I appreciate that about it. Anything with, like, that amount of personality to it probably gets pretty high ranking, like in the top, like the upper echelon of the tier list. I'm gonna put it in, like, B plus tier. No, I'm gonna put it in A tier. I think that's fair. Like, I think it definitely deserves it. But where though? Maybe, like, below the Mewtwo. I'm okay with that. Next is gonna be the Tapu Bulu by Akita Saki from Shrouded Fable. This card is really underrated in my opinion. Like, I think that it's a really, really beautiful illustration of this Pokemon. I love, like, the environment around it, like all the different plants, all the different lily pads and stuff. It really adds to it, and having this, like, nice highlight on the Pokemon itself. It's really, really underrated. Like, I think it's really great, honestly. I'm gonna put it, like, kind of high compared to, like, where you would expect it to be. I think it deserves to be an A tier, honestly. Like, I really like it. I'm gonna put it, like, right next to the Mewtwo. It's just based on vibes. I just, like, really appreciate it personally. Next is the Houndoom by Taiga Kasai. Now, this is a really, really amazing card. Incredible colors. Love the silhouettes of the Houndoom in the background. And I love, like, how the, pillars of whatever these are, trees or whatnot, are, like, forming in the background. Kind of look like bones almost, like bone structures. The grass being, like, this, like, wispy, kind of, like, flowy grass works super well. That, like, eye trail of red is super dope. And Houndoom is nicely detailed, looks incredible. I'm gonna put it in S tier. I know that's, like, a pretty cop-out pick, like, for an S tier Pokemon. But, like, I don't know. You can't just not put it in S tier. Like, it's one of the coolest Houndoom cards we've ever gotten. And it's just, like, I don't know. I think it's really cool and like, perfectly rated. Like, people like it a lot. And it's just cool. Next is Horsey by Shinya Komatsu. It's a very, very cute-looking illustration rare. I think that, like, the way that the Pokemon is just, like, chilling on, like, a coral is very cute. I'm gonna love how you have, like, this giant coral reef in the foreground, and you have, like, the emptiness of the ocean in the background. Maybe if there was, like, a Pokemon or two in the back, that would be nice. But it doesn't particularly need it, so I'm gonna put it, like, kind of, like, in the Shinya Komatsu tier of, like, that B tier kind of ranking. Maybe a little bit higher, because I like it a little bit more than the Sunflora, just for the vibes. I'm gonna put it, like... Actually, no, I'm gonna put it right next to the original one, because, like, they're both, like, very similar. Actually, like the Sunflora a little bit more on looking at both of them. I'm gonna put it right here. Next is gonna be the Duskull. So these three are all by the same artist, all by James Turner. Duskull, Dusclops, Dusknoir. So they're all probably gonna be put right next to each other, because I like them all equally. This style really reminds me of Osare with the Tatsugiri, as they have like this kind of outlines where it's broken up in the middle of them, which is really cool. This one is Duskull stalking you at home, or like away from home and on the street. It's very, very cool. A lot of nice details. I love how the houses also follow the same convention style of having like the outlines be like broken up and stuff, which is really cool. I don't know. It's a really, really cool looking card. Dusclops and Dusknoir, I also feel the same way about. This one's getting a little bit closer. This one's right outside your house. So it's a very great concept that carries throughout the evolution line. And I can really appreciate it because it's just something unique that you don't like see from Pokemon cards very frequently. And just for that, just for the concept alone, I'm going to put it in A tier, like A plus tier. It's kind of getting hard to like scroll through the list now, honestly, just because there's so much stuff on it. Yeah, they're all in A plus tier. I do like the Dusknoir the most out of all of them, though. I think that it deserves to be the highest, like right there. I'm gonna put the Dusclops a little bit. Well, I like the Duskull the least out of the three, I would say. So I'm gonna put this one just like a little bit lower. Yeah, I'm gonna put it like right below the Pikachu, right above the Gloom. That's okay. And then this one, actually, they deserve to be like right next to each other, honestly. Next is gonna be the Cresselia by Satoma. This is a very, very awesome illustration. Something that you will notice about this card is that if you turn your head, turn the illustration, and I think there's like some sort of castle town in the background, and the Pokemon is like glowing like this explosive light. It's very, very like iridescent, which I really appreciate. I think that's a really cool idea. I love Cresselia as a Pokemon, and the way that its colors kind of contrast the background here are really interesting. Like overall, it's just a very interesting illustration for sure. So I can appreciate that about it. I'm gonna put it in like the B tier, I think, because I like it, but I don't love it, like not enough to like put it all the way up to the top here. But B tier is perfectly fine with me. Like for the vibes, it's really nice. I've been saying that a lot this episode. This episode is like for the vibes type stuff. Monkey Dory by Tazero. It's very, very cool in terms of colors. I hate this Pokemon so much, but the colors on this card are fantastic. Like the explosive energy of the Sakura leaves is just great. I love the like leaves and like the plants and stuff. Like everything adds together to make this illustration just like what it actually is. And I think that it makes it nicer for it. It doesn't deserve to be in B tier or B plus tier. I think that it deserves to be in A tier because like even though I really, really hate that Pokemon, I think that the illustration itself is really, really cool. So I'm gonna put it like right above the cloth right here in A tier for sure. Next is gonna be the Pheasantipede by Kiichiro Ito. I actually feel very similarly about this one to the Monkey Dory. Just a really cool looking card, very interesting concept of the Pokemon like radiating its glow here. I think that that's not a bad idea. Executed pretty well. The rock faces all around it are nice, and like the way that they curve around the Pokemon. It's very nice. I'm gonna put it in like A tier, probably like right next to the Monkey Dory, honestly. Then finally is the Okidogi by Akira Agawa. This card is crazy. It's got some insane energy. I love the pink highlights that are used around the card. I think that adds a lot to it. The Pokemon looks ravenous, ferocious with that like hanging tongue. I think that's pretty interesting. And I think that it's cool, like it's destroying the environment around it. Out of the three, I would say this is probably my favorite. Not by like a long shot or anything, but just by a little bit, so I'm going to put it a little bit higher. Next is going to be the Zorua by Ren. It's a very, very cute illustration. Obviously, it's Ren's style. You have the Pokemon just sleeping on top of like a roof of a building, like a shingle or something. It's very cute. I don't know, it's just the Pokemon sleeping though. I'll put it like in B tier. It's pretty cool, but I would say it's a little bit better than the N Zorua, so I'm going to put it like higher in B tier. Yeah, it's not like personally my favorite card of all time or anything. I'm gonna put it like right here. Next is gonna be the Q-Fant by Mina Nakai. Very cute. Very like I feel like this card is one that I really didn't like when the set came out. But I'm turning around on it now. I think I like it a little bit more. I like the rainbow in the background. I like the way the Pokemon's spraying water in the sky. It's just very simple though. Like I think that that's my only gripe with it. I'm gonna put it in like C tier. Yeah, I think that's fair. Next is going to be the Fracture by Minami Take. Very, very cool style in this card. I like how the Pokemon is sleeping, and you have like a little herd of Axews in the back. I love the waterfall aesthetic. Like I think that Minami Take's style works really well for this aesthetic. So I'm happy to say that I think that this card is actually pretty nice, and I think that it's probably like an A tier illustration for sure. I don't know. I like it a lot. I love the environment. I think that it reminds me of the Heracross just in terms of like the environment and just like the kind of idea of the card, just like the chill kind of vibe. And I like chill vibe Pokemon. Next is going to be the Persian by Whisker. It's probably my favorite card in the set, other than the Houndoom. They're both really, really nice. This one is nice for its own reason, just because the Pokemon, like, it's just being in the room, like this royal red room, and like it looking out on the cityscape, kind of seeing these like, buildings, these lights and stuff, and seeing its own reflection in the mirror is a really great way to show its like face. I think that makes it really, really cool. I know that this card was like super expensive in English or whatever. I don't really care, like, follow the markets every single day, but I could see why it was like pretty pricey. It's really, really nice looking card. Maybe not S tier, but just like A plus. I'm gonna put it like right here. I think that's fair. Next is gonna be the Beware by Takeshi Nakamura. It's a very interesting idea of the Pokemon just like straight in your face. I don't hate it for that. I think that it's a pretty interesting concept. I don't know. I like the shading. I like the colors. Like it's all right. I'm gonna put it in probably like a C tier though. Maybe above like the Pinsir, above the Reuniclus, above the, maybe like right here. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Next is gonna be Stellar Crown. So this is gonna be the Bulbasaur by Orca. People like this card. I like this card. It's cute. It's simple. It's effective. Obviously, I don't think it's as good as the 151 Bulbasaur, but I think that it's still a nice looking card, and I gotta put it like pretty high. Maybe like right. It's alright. I like the Pidgeys in the card. I think that adds to it for sure. Maybe like right there. Next is gonna be the Ledian by Haiganosuke. I love the like environment of this card. I love the flowers, clovers, etc. I like its just like silly little expression as it's flying along, and it's kind of got this line of fireflies going around it, which is really nice. And I love how it's like all nighttime, but it's still like nicely highlighted. The color is still very easy to see. I think that I appreciate that about the card. Yeah, I think B tier fits for it. Next is the Lileep by Moriyu. One of my favorite cards from Stellar Crown. I think that it's incredible, honestly. I have no qualms with this card. I love how it's in its little fish tank here with a bunch of different coral, different plants. And this person obviously is a big fan of Lileep. The Lileep rug, the Lileep mat. You have a bunch of different like coral, a bunch of different lights. I love how the angle is a little tilted. Yeah, I don't know. I personally think this is one of my favorite cards ever. Like, I love it so much. And I know that, you might be thinking like, oh, this guy's just throwing everything in S tier. No, I just really like that card a lot. Next is the Turtonator by Yukihiro Tada. I think this is better than their Pinsir, so I think that this, is a very nice sign of improvement. I love the rainy aesthetic. I love the, the cave that it's standing in front of, and this like deep black is used for the background is really nice. You even have some like ripples on the water from the Pokemon just kind of like standing there. Some ripples from the rain itself, which is really nice. Very underrated card for sure. I think this is probably one of their better illustrations, so I'm going to put it a little bit higher in A tier. Next is going to be the Raboot by Rika. A very, very, very simple, very, very beautiful illustration. I don't know, there's not much to hate about it. I like the glowing kind of ball there of snow, and the way that it's kicking it up in the sky is pretty cool. I like it. I like the snow. I think that it's a nice looking card, and I think that the Pokemon's colors like nicely contrast with the background there. So I'm going to put it in like B plus tier. Yeah, that's fine. B plus tier, like right here, maybe? Yeah, I'm cool with that. Next is going to be the Squirtle by Saboteri. It's a very, very cute looking card. I think that I prefer this one to the Bulbasaur just a little bit. I think I like this card more than the Bulbasaur just because I personally care for like Saboteri's art style just a little bit more. I don't know. I like how he's in like a little kiddie pool shooting his water. I think that's a perfect idea for this like simple little Pokemon like Squirtle. The hose isn't even connected anymore. It's like leaking all over the place. It's got a good sense of storytelling, and I like the framing of the card. So I'm going to put it like right next to the Bulbasaur. Where is the Bulbasaur at? A plus tier. I'm going to put it in A plus tier as well, but just a little bit higher. Right there. Next is going to be the Crabominable by Mitsuhiro Rita. Now, this card is alright. For a Mitsuhiro Rita card, it's probably not my favorite, unfortunately. Where did I put the Wattrel? I put the Wattrel like... Oh no, I put it right here in B plus tier. Okay, I found it. Yeah, I'm going to put this card a little bit lower. I'm not a huge fan of Crabominable as a Pokemon, honestly, and that's just on me, I think. I'm going to put it lower than this. Yeah, I'm going to put it like right here in C tier. Next is going to be the Joltik by Marina Chikazawa. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about earlier, how there's like 3 Joltik illustration rares, and one of them is really good. They're all pretty good, but there's just one that I like more than the others. This is one of the ones that I like more than the others. I love the colors. I love the sense of purple in the card. I think that's great. I put the other one in B tier. I'm going to put this one in A tier. I think this one is really nice. I love the electrical effects, and I think that Marina Chikazawa did a really, really good job on this card. I'm going to put it like right here in A tier. Next is going to be the Zero Aura by Kazumasa Yasukuni. I love the colors on this card, really poppy, really. I think this is probably my favorite card from the set, actually, now that I look at it. It's incredible. Like, I love the comic book aesthetic, kind of like those nice dots that you see in comic books. Pink, blue, incredible pose, incredibly dynamic. Like, I love the lightning effects coming off of its hands here. I don't know, it's just like a perfect illustration of Zero Aura. Like, I could never ask for anything more than this. This is like one of my favorite cards of all time. And I think that I put it really high up last time as well. Obviously for good reason if I like it that much, I think that it deserves to be pretty high up. Next is going to be the Milcery by Daisuke. This is a complete tonal shift from their Lyron that they did. I think that it's really nice though for it. Like, I think that it works in their favor. The different suites of different sizes and shapes and different Pokemon featured on them. It's a really cute idea overall. I think that it's a very nice looking illustration. I put its other illustration in the C tier, I believe, so I'm going to put this one in B tier. Maybe even B plus tier. Screw it. I think that is actually pretty nice. I love the, kind of candy aesthetic, and the way that the Pokemon is super, like, bright white, nicely contrasts against that background, so I think it's a really good card. Next is the Metatype by Yuriko Akase. It's a nice idea of just, like, the Metatype waking up to see this Chatot kind of bothering its sleep. I love this, like, jungle kind of ancient aesthetic. It looks almost like an old-time, like, kind of era, like what is it called, like a dinosaur era or something like that, as it just got like those nice dinosaur-ish trees. I think that's a really good idea, and I think that's executed really well. I'm gonna put it in B tier though. I'm gonna put it like right below the Sunflora. Yeah, I'm gonna put it actually right below the Joltik too. Yeah, I like it though. Next is gonna be the Gulpin by Jerky. This is a love it or hate it card. I'm not a humongous fan of this card, personally. I don't mind it though. I definitely think that Jerky has some better cards though, like the Pidgey and Pidgeotto. I prefer them, I think. But it's not bad. I'm gonna put it in C tier, probably below, like right above the Crabominable, honestly. Next is gonna be the Archaludon by Toshino Aoki. This is one of my favorite cards from the set, honestly. I love how like angry and like aggressive Archaludon looks, but is actually not angry or aggressive. He's just chilling, like these little kids. They're all crowding around the Pokemon like in amazement. I think that's a cute idea. Like, it's simple and it's effective. Like, it's cute. I don't know. It deserves to be an A+ tier for sure. Like, I think that it's very underrated, and I think that it is a really nice looking card. And that just about wraps it up for this part of the video. In the next episode, we're going to be covering all of Surging Sparks, as well as it looks like a Journey Together and Destined Rivals. So we've got a lot to cover in the next video, and we're starting to get a little bit crazy. And then after that, Black Bolt, White Flare, and then we're done. I know this has been a long series, so if you've been sticking through with it, make sure to leave a like and a comment. Let me know like what's changed, like what you would personally change. I'm curious to hear, because obviously this list isn't perfect. I'm going to be readjusting it at the very end, doing one big readjustment, because there's a lot of stuff that I need to move around for sure. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video though, like I said, leave a like. We didn't actually add anything to D tier today, which I think is pretty interesting. I think that that's not a bad thing necessarily, It's always nice to have a video where there's a lot of positive things to say about the video, about the Pokemon cards. I think the most negative set, set that I was negative towards in this video is probably Twilight Masquerade. A lot of the cards ended up like near the C tier, near the lower end of the list. There's nothing wrong with that though. It is what it is. In this video, we added 1, 2, 3, 4 cards to S tier. That's pretty good. That's a good amount. We added the Zero Aura, we added the Tatsugiri, we added the Houndoom, and we added the Lileep. High praise still. Like, I know there's a lot of cards in the S tier, but this is high praise, Like, this isn't just stuff that I'm just willy-nilly throwing out here. I really appreciate these cards at the top of S tier here. And yeah, like I said, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, and hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Peace.